So we have just got to Sigiriya. We got the bus, which was actually pretty easy, from Kandy to Dambulla. So that cost $3.10, so about 80p, and took 2 hours. I think it was supposed to take 3, but our driver was very quick and overtook a lot.
Take her away, Ian.
Yeah, take it away, Ernie. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
And then we got some lunch in Dambulla and a drink, and then we literally walked out the restaurant and got straight on the bus to Sigiriya. So it's nice and easy, nice and cheap. That cost $1.10.
Yep, and only took about half an hour, didn't it?
Yeah, it took about half an hour. So overall, for about 3 hours of travel, it's cost us £1.
Yeah.
So we're just walking to our hostel, or like guest house now. Lovely, thank you. This is cute. How much was this a night?
This was $11.
$11 for the 2 of us. And it's got its own shower and bathroom. Nice and basic.
I'm happy about that. We dropped off our bags and went for a walk to see the famous Lion's Rock as the sun began to set.
So the reason that we have come to Sigiriya is for views of Lion's Rock, which is actually just here. So tomorrow morning for sunrise, we're not actually going to go to Lion's Rock, but we're going to go to its neighbour, just because it's a lot cheaper, but views are still amazing.
So we're going to Pidirangula Rock, which I think is around $5 entry, versus Lion's Rock, which is $30 entry. And you can see the views that we get tomorrow morning.
We've just heard from people that Sigiriya is very expensive for the views. The view is the rock itself, so we'll figure out whether that's correct tomorrow and let you know.
Good morning, it's currently almost 5 AM. We've woke up early to hike up for sunrise. Where are we going, Meg?
Pidirangala Rock with a view over Sigiriya. So we're getting up nice and early. Gonna start walking in the dark, but we've got our head torches, and we arranged a tuk-tuk yesterday for return, pick up and drop off from our hotel. So he's gonna wait there for 2,000, so about a £5, which is pretty good for him waiting there as well, and this time in the morning.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to some views out over Lion's Rock and the surrounding mountains. So we'll see you on the trail.
So we just paid entrance to the temple, and we paid 1,000 each, so about £2.50.
So as you can probably see, most of the trail's actually lit up along the way. Probably can't see me so well now, but yeah, we're kind of surprised. Didn't expect it to be so well lit, but just making our way up now. The tuk-tuk only took sort of like 10-15 minutes, when we thought it might take quite a lot longer than that, but here now, and probably about 10 minutes in, and we should be at the top in the next sort of 25 minutes or so. So as you can see, it's actually pretty busy at the summit. We came up for sunrise, but there wasn't much of a sunrise, as you've probably seen, or will see in some clips I'll put on now. But I'm just having a walk around the summit plateau, see if I can see any nice views through the gaps in the clouds. So it is supposed to clear up in about, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes on the forecast, but you know, forecasts aren't reliable. But we're gonna chill up here for a bit more time, see if it'll clear and we'll be able to get some good views. I mean, it looks like it's clearing up. I guess you'll find out in the next clip.
I think we're going to stick it out maybe another half an hour and hopefully that clears so we get a bit of a better view. But it is stunning, like you can see if it was clear how nice the views would be. The hike was actually pretty easy, and also they say it takes about half an hour in the tuk-tuk to get here. It only took us 10 minutes, so we left at 5, which had plenty of time. We were up here about 45 minutes before the sunrise because the hike took us about half an hour. So most of it is just sort of steps, and then the last 10 minutes maybe you have to clamber over some rocks and through some gaps. So there was a bit of a queue there. Has been fairly busy, but everybody's sort of gone now, so hopefully we get some nice views to ourselves.
After waiting a little longer, unfortunately the skies didn't clear and we weren't blessed with those clear views that we wanted. So we decided to head down in the hopes that our tuk-tuk driver wasn't too annoyed waiting for us. Alright, so we're on the way down now, back through the rainforest that we couldn't really see very well this morning. I'm just trying not to break my neck on these steps as I'm climbing down and talking to you at the same time.
Another thing, just be mindful that if you do come, you need to cover both your knees and your shoulders, because it is a religious place. They do offer sarongs, but if you're coming at peak time, there's only so many, so you have to wait for them to come back down for you.
We were grateful for our tuk-tuk driver waiting extra time for us, so we made sure to tip him a bit extra before we headed back for a lovely breakfast and reflect on our hike.
We thought we would do a quick video just to sum up the hike today and whether we would recommend it.
Yeah, some final thoughts.
Yeah, obviously we were quite unlucky with the weather. It did clear a little bit, but you can see how beautiful that viewpoint would be on a clear sunny day.
Yeah.
Obviously it's just a shame being in the jungle, the weather does change and it is unpredictable, so even sort of weather forecasts aren't the most accurate. But cost and what you get I thought was really good.
Yeah, I think the only thing is maybe just look at your forecast and go a bit later in the day, because it seems like it's misty in the morning, then it'll probably clear sort of around 10 o'clock type of time, and then obviously mists over in the evening as well, with being how humid it is.
I do think that if you have the budget, visiting Lions Rock, it does look amazing. But ultimately on this trip we've decided not to go there, obviously just due to cost.
Budget,
yeah, it's $30, which is like a day's...
10 times more expensive than what we paid to do this.
To do our hike, yeah. It's 9:45, we've just had a lovely breakfast. We're probably going to go pack up and then we're getting the bus back to Dambulla. So we have one night in Dambulla and we're going to do some exploring there today. And then tomorrow we are heading to Nuwara Elia. Your impression of Sri Lanka so far?
My impression of Sri Lanka so far? I'd say it's a lot more there's a lot more luxury than what we might have expected.
Yeah.
I'd imagine. I thought, especially coming out here to sort of like Sigiriya and basically in the jungle, we've got a lot more. Yeah, it's a lot less rugged and stuff than I would have expected, really. I mean, we're just sat here on a nice veranda, drinking a cup of tea with a view of Lions Rock. It's not exactly, we're not exactly in any hardship. And it's interesting.
And this is like £4.50 each a night, just for some perspective as well.
Yeah, with breakfast included.
So really isn't expensive. You get a lot for your money. Yeah.
I'd highly recommend. If you go on booking.com, you can find probably 10, 15, 20 properties that are of like a similar price range that you'll be sort of like treated so well by such lovely people, and we're having a great time so far.
This is pretty much the same cost as a dorm bed in a hostel, so obviously depending on which route you want to go down, if you want to meet people or if you do want a little bit more luxury and privacy, there are lots of options out there, so you do get a lot for your money, which is really good.
Yeah, I do think sort of like travelling as a couple that's where you get that benefit, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, because you share a bed, so then you share the accommodation costs and you share the breakfast costs, and yeah. But yeah, we're having a good time, and we'll see you on the bus probably to Dambulla. We took the short 10-minute walk from our accommodation to the bus stop and boarded the bus to Dambulla. Unfortunately, on the way, we saw people riding elephants and elephants chained up, ready to be ridden.
So participating in the enslavement of animals. Wow, you guys even heard of ethically travelling?
Is that with Ryan Gosling?
Okay,
So we got the bus back to Dambulla. We got the red bus this time, but it was exactly the same price, just a little bit slower.
Yeah.
So there's not really a difference between the red and the blue. Then we got some food, and we've just got a tuk-tuk to the cave temple.
Yeah.
Cost 300 from the city centre.
So we found ourselves another steep set of stairs up to the top of another temple. Entrance was 2,000 each, so about £5. I think everything's sort of just gone up a bit in price recently, but it makes sense with them sort of not having tourists here for sort of 3 or 4 years. But we're a bit out of breath, but we're getting there. But I think it comes out at the top with like a nice viewpoint, then some nice temples to look around, then a golden Buddha statue. So it should be good and worth the money.
Bloody shattered.
We're getting there. It's a good view though. So although it was hard work on the hike up, I think you could see that it's well worth it. For these brilliant views.
So Morgan has been giving us the wrong, but we are in, and it is really beautiful. All of the temples are built into the cave, and we'll have a little walk and see what we can find. We spent about an hour or so walking between the different rooms of the cave temple, with Morgan getting lots of funny looks from the locals in his jazzy sarong.
Too jazzy?
yeah, too jazzy.
We are just walking down out of the temple. We're leaving a different way, and this will take us to a big Buddha statue, so it's quite nice. You get quite a lot for your money. What were your impressions?
Yeah, really beautiful. All like all the statues inside the separate different temples along the way. It's really pretty. I enjoyed it in there.
Yeah, it was really nice. Also, just the views at the top were really nice as well.
We enjoyed the views of the golden Buddha statue before heading back to go for some dinner. We fancied some Western food, but unfortunately we got a lot more than we bargained for when we walked into Pizza Hut.
The following morning after breakfast, our host kindly showed us how to play the traditional Sri Lankan game of kabaddi. Then he dropped us off at the bus stop, ready for our long travel day ahead of us.
So after a long travel day, starting the day in Dambulla, we got the bus obviously down to Kandy. We then waited around for a couple of hours and we had some lunch and sort of chilled out for a bit. And then we got the train to where we are now, Nuwara Eliya. We got in pretty late, about 10 p.m. in the evening. So that's the end of our Sigiriya and Dambulla exploring video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to drop us a like and subscribe, of course. Leave us a comment if you got anything to say to us. We'll make sure to get back to you. And yeah, as always, we'll see you in the next one.
And if you're interested in seeing what we're getting up to in Nuwara Eliya, then make sure to look out for our next video.